Hello, hello, hello. Okay. I'm just testing out right now. Don't look at my hair, guys. It's a mess. I'm just gonna have a quick look myself. 1 second, 1 second. No! Ah, why is it this music, bro? You guys are not able to hear it though. There we go. Okay. Okay, test, test, test. Oh, this is Japan. Why is this Japan? Test, 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 test. Oh no, there we go. Yo, yo, Steven, welcome, buddy. How are you doing? Just gonna test out some things. You guys should be able to hear the music, and we will be right back in a second. Let me have a quick look if Keith is in this race. He is in this race. Yes, indeed, he is. He is in the Williams-strijd. Hello guys and welcome to this live stream on the Speed Force Racing YouTube channel. Today we are going to be racing around Qatar. It seems like I'm experiencing some latency issues and also some internet connection issues. So it could be that I will not be able to continue this stream. But I guess that will be something for later. I'm just going to have a quick look here if I can do anything about my settings. Okay, so hopefully that will fix it. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to be able to get it fixed, of course, but we can only hope for the best. And let's go straight into the introduction here. As we've got Qatar today, the previous race was going to be Japan, which was going to be Search in P1 and Mindful Wasp after a very unfortunate last turn in that Japan Grand Prix. He kind of blew it. And then we had Calvin racing in P3. So the track information of today is going to look like this. It is going to be on the Losail International Circuit. Qatar has a population of 2.7 million people. The first Grand Prix was in 2021, of course, and I didn't find any information on who has won the Grand Prix here in SFR. We have on the VB Thomas community, we have a qualifying record of a 119.9. So I don't think these guys are going to be able to beat that. And then a race record, a fastest lap of a 122.7. So that is a very, very difficult time to get, of course. Now, track layout-wise, we've got a short qualifying at a 50% race. The track will be around 5.4 kilometers long, and then the race distance will be around 157 kilometers. Now, turn 4 is quite a difficult one. Then we've got turn 5 and turn 6. Turn 5 is a fast right-hander, and we're coming into turn 6, one of the slowest corners here around Qatar. Turn 7 is going to be a fast right-hander. Well, not really that fast. It's kind of a U-turn, but a long U-turn. Now we've got a fast left-hander, a right-hander, and then once again a very slow left-hander, which is actually going to be turn 9, if I'm not mistaken. Or even turn 10. I think it's going to be turn 10. Then we're coming into sector 3, of course. You've got very fast right-handers, which is going to be a very fast right-hander into turn 12, turn 13, and turn 14. And we're going into turn 15, a fast left-hander and a very fast right-hander. Well, not very fast, it's medium pace. And that is going to be the last corner around Qatar. So hopefully you guys are going to be able to, enjoy this track. It's quite some good, there's quite some good racing around this track. So hopefully we're going to be able to see that tonight. Safety car probability is very, very low. So we are not going to be seeing many safety cars here tonight. A tire degradation rate is also very high. And then we've got tire overheating probability, which is also very high. Medium hards or hard mediums would be the best. Soft medium medium or medium medium soft are not usually taken here around Qatar, only if there's going to be a couple of safety cars, of course. Now, standing wise, we are looking at a very competitive standings in the top 3, as we've got Serge leading his way with around 25 points. That we've got the Vikar in P2 and Utkars in P3. Energy Dan is closing in the gap to Utkars, as he's only 2 points away from the top 3. Then we have Matt G in a P5. Let's have a quick look where Mindful Waspin is. He came into the top 10 last week, and he is only strengthening his position even more, as he is already very, very close to Doran and Mr. Wiggles. Now, constructor-wise, Alpine has taken the lead by quite a bit, almost 41 points. Then we've got AlphaTauri in P3. Mercedes, of course, in P2. It says a Haas. Wait, hold up. That doesn't make sense. There's a Haas. Okay, guys, sort your shit out. So the Haas is the Mercedes and the Mercedes is the Haas. I would assume that it is the Haas, as Utkars is in P3 and the other Haas is in P14. Mercedes is in P4 and the other Mercedes is not there. Where's the other Mercedes? Oh, in P9. So yeah, it's going to be Mercedes in P2 and then Haas in P4. So that is going to be the standings for today. And let's hop... I was going to say let's hop into the stream, but it seems like the stream is not there. Well, the PlayStation is not there. So I'm just going to have to switch that around. There we go. And here we go. So here we are, guys. Welcome, everyone. I hope you're having a fine evening tonight. I hope the stream is going to last... Well, stay strong and don't be an annoying prick sometimes. Well, my Wi-Fi is, but of course that's not the Wi-Fi I choose. Yeah, it's going to be a great race. These guys are very competitive. These guys are very clean, very good. So yeah, I do expect there is going to be a lot of overtakes tonight. Aceman is already taking the lead with the pole here with a 122.6. But we want to, of course, have a quick look with the lap data here. A track map is also very important, as we've got a Mercedes being pretty close to the Alfa Romeo there. And I think that is going to be Mindful Wasp, who has put a 123.0. So I think he definitely wants to go for another one. And we might want to have a quick look at this ERS usage. It's not that high. Well, it is high, but he doesn't have many spare anymore. So we are probably not going to be seeing him putting another lap here, as he doesn't have any left. And Qatar is actually a track where you do want to have a lot of ERS spare, because otherwise you're not going to be able to make the end of that qualifying lap. And it's also going to be very challenging for these guys to hopefully not use that many ERS during the race, because it could be that you're already struggling after lap 5. We've got 29 laps tonight, so it's going to be very challenging for a lot of guys to keep their ERS good enough and be able to use enough ERS. Well, just spread that ERS usage over multiple laps instead of one lap. Doran right now in P16 as the Aston Martin driver is coming around sector 1 as he's entering sector 2 right now, turn 4 and 5 this is, and then entering turn 6, which is going to be a slow left-hander, my apologies, because it seems like I've already got a lot of dropped frames, so I'm not too sure if this is actually going to be working out quite well. I hope it is, but I cannot change anything about this, it's so annoying. So Doran has got, yeah, you lose ERS in the race even without, yeah, indeed, I mean, it's so annoying here around Qatar. There's a lot of like straight lines and all that kind of stuff, but even through the corners you're using ERS because you don't go onto the brakes. These fast right-handers, you cannot touch the brakes there or you're losing a massive amount of time. But now coming into turn 15 and 16 that is, as hopefully he's going to be able to put a good time on the board. This Wi-Fi is really annoying me right now. Just gonna have a quick look for myself how the quality of the stream is. Okay, thank you, Martin. It's just because I know it is very frustrating for you guys, but it is also very frustrating for me. Like right now, the amount of drop frames I've got is 2,000 out of 47,000, which is not great at all. Usually I've got, when I'm home, I've got not more than 50 drop frames, well, frame drops. So I don't know how to solve this actually. But it's, yeah, I cannot do anything about it. It's just the Wi-Fi of the building, so I'll have to cope with this. Maybe switch over to, I don't know if that's actually gonna work. Maybe move to 4G, like mobile Wi-Fi, but I don't know if that's actually gonna be enough to stream with. But let's go on board with Noel this year, as he's currently in P14. Hasn't put a lap in yet, but the Williams driver definitely has something to do about that, and will be having something to say about that. And now coming through turn 4 and 5, that is fast right-handers, but you do have to lift it a little bit through there, maybe brake a little bit going into turn 4. Into turn 5, you're not going to carry too much speed through there, so definitely don't touch the brake there, as he's now entering sector 2. Into turn 7, that is a fast right-hander, and he does take a lot of curb on the exit there. And hopefully get more speed through towards this turn 8 and 9. Now into turn 10. And that is going to be a good exit coming through that corner. And a little bit down the straights right now as he's coming into sector 3. Three fast right-handers. And he doesn't take too much curb on the exit, as that might be a little bit of a mistake there. Goes too wide, and that is going to be an invalidation for the Norwegian. I think he's from Norway. And he's coming back into the pit, so it's not going to be a lap improvement for the Williams driver right now, as Ellie is currently in P13. Hasn't put a pretty good lap in, pretty close to Mr. Wiggles in P12. But Ellie right now hasn't been able to put too many good times on the board yet. But right now he or she is in P13 with a 123.2. And that is only a few tenths away from the top 10. As Gas is currently in P10 with a 123.1. Now let's have a quick look what Ellie is going to be able to do here coming into Sector 3, as these are going to be those fast right-handers right now. That is a pretty interesting line through there. Might not have the chance to practice too much, or maybe he or she is coming into the pits, and that is indeed what's going to happen. So let's go back to Aceman right now, who is in P6. The Ferrari driver, pretty good lap of 122.4. I wouldn't say it's competitive. Well, it's good enough to compete with the top 3. So we've got Adams in P1, Calvin Racing in P2, and Bossy Gaming in P3. Let's go on board with Keith right now, as the Williams driver is currently faster than his previous time. A 123.2 is the time to beat for the Williams driver. And is he going to be able to do that? That is a good question. He needs to make sure that he's going to be entering the top 10. Only 400s to be improved in order to get into the top 10. But it is going to be... I thought that was going to be an invalidation. He went really wide through turn 13. As he's now coming around turn 15 to take a lot of curb on the exit there. Turn 16, a fast right-hander. And you want to go onto the throttle as soon as possible, but don't invalidate. And that's exactly what he does right now. Yeah, indeed, Martin. I mean, I'm currently not in my own house, so I don't have my own Wi-Fi with me right now. And basically, there is not even an opportunity to go with cable Wi-Fi. And usually when I'm at home, right, I've got pretty decent Wi-Fi. But this Wi-Fi, they are sharing it in the whole building. So everyone is using the same Wi-Fi. But I've got this, I don't know what it is. Maybe I can try and do something. Hold up. I'm going to try and do something. I'm going to disable the TV so that there's going more power. I don't know if that even works like that. But if that there's going more power to the, what's that called? The thingy. You probably don't know what I mean, but I'm gonna tap it real quick, give it a bit of taps, and hopefully that is gonna be doing its job. I don't think it's gonna be doing its job, but you never know. You never know. So here we are again. Where's my controller? There it is. So what was I saying again? I actually can't remember what I was saying. Doesn't really matter too much. Keith right now coming back into the pits. He doesn't have any ERS left, and Noldus is gonna go for another lap. Here goes the Williams driver, because it seems like the Wi-Fi is pretty good right now. Oh man, right as I say it shows red. That's really bad. This is gonna be freaking me out. Right now we've got Noldus in P16. He's coming around turn... what turn is that? Turn 7? Now into turn 8, 9, and 10. As you know, Noldus, he hasn't been on a great streak these last couple of races. I wouldn't say his performance has been outstanding. As he's now trying to enter Sector 3 with a good result in Sector 2. He's got a purple Sector 2, so hopefully he's going to be able to improve a little bit here. Now into turn 15, and then of course the last corner of the track, and we've got an Alpine right around that corner. He doesn't take a wide line entering that corner, so he might have lost a couple of tenths coming into turn 16. And there we go, right down the finish line, and that is going to be a 121.4 to take the lead here in Qatar. Well, the lead, of course, it's going to be the pole, as we're only doing a qualification right now. Yeah, obviously, the more devices connected, the slower it'll be for everyone. It only drops in and out sometimes. Don't stress, bro. Still looks great. Yeah, I mean, it's just horrible. This is really bad. Look at this. The problem is I've got a Wi-Fi connector in my room, right? So the Wi-Fi, it should only, like, my phone should only be connecting, well, my PC should only be connecting to that, because I disabled my phone's Wi-Fi so that I'm not connected to the Wi-Fi or anything like that, that it isn't even able to find it or anything like that. So yeah. Maybe someone is using my Wi-Fi connector, I don't know, but I'm gonna call my apartment tomorrow and ask if anything can be done about that. I don't think so, but yeah, it is what it is, you know. Nold is coming into the pits right now, and we might want to have a quick look with Energy Dan here, as he is up on his lap, on his time actually. He's up by 28 thousandths. Now coming through these dangerous fast right-handers into turn 15, and then of course turn 16. That's gonna be... Oh, has a little bit of a snap there coming around turn 16. A big push from the Englishman. But I do think it's going to be a good improvement, and it is going to be a 122.2, a 1.5 tenth improvement, which will put him in P5. Great push there coming around the last corner for the Englishman as he puts himself in P5 right now. Let's go on board with the Bear, as the Bear has to put some Bear performance in here, although he's not going to be able to. He backs out of the move. Well, the lap. Aceman comes into the pits right now. Watch out for the Mercedes. Who is the Mercedes? It isn't Energy Dan, is it? It is not. It is Mindful Wasp who's going for another lap here. So what is Mindful Wasp going to do? Coming around the last corner. He doesn't go onto the throttle too easily there. So that is probably not going to be a good lap. Well, a good start for the Englishman. Mindful Wasp right now got a P2 last week in Japan. Now coming around turn 1, as it is a very tricky one and a very dangerous one actually to start a Grand Prix in. There's usually a lot of chaos coming around turn 1 there. Mindful Wasp now coming into turn 3, that is. This is going to be those fast right-handers again. Takes a lot of curb on the exit to hopefully get a better entry into turn 5. And then you want to go as much on the throttle as possible coming around to this corner. Because you don't want... Well, basically, you don't want to go too fast that you're going to spin out. But you don't want to go too slow either, because then you're just gonna have a very slow exit coming out that corner, and you want to go as fast as possible, obviously. Mindful Wasp now coming into sector 3. He's right behind that Aston Martin, so I'm not too sure if he's using him as a in Belgium we use him as a, not really a fox, a rabbit, and it makes you want to push faster, and it makes you want to be able to overtake him, if that makes sense. You're always going to be faster in second than you are in first. That's always going to be... That's just human nature. It is what it is. Ooh, Nold is already retired from the session. And Mindful Wasp now puts him in P4. A 7/10 improvement, as that will be a 7/10 push to put himself in P4, which is not bad at all. Let's have a quick look. Who am I thinking that's going to be able to improve? Maybe Surge here, as he's currently in P5. 1 minute 22 for the Alpine drivers. He's now coming into sector 3 with an 8 thousandths of an improvement now entering sector 3. Maybe in sector 3 he can improve a little bit more here. Goes off throttle a little bit there coming through that corner. But what is it going to look like here in sector 3? Coming around turn 16 now. Is this going to be an improvement? It probably is, but I'm not too sure if it's going to be enough for pole, as he's now coming down the main straight, down the start-finish straight, and it will be a 121. But will it be high? Will it be low? It will be high, and it will be a P3. Both Alpine drivers put each other not in the front row. It's only going to be one Alpine driver on the front row and the other one right behind. Although Calvin Racing has a say about that, he currently puts himself in P3. And that is going to be your qualifying right now. So pretty good qualifying from everyone, obviously. Nold is indeed Norwegian, as that is, of course, the Norwegian flag. We've got Adams in P2, and then Calvin Racing in P3, Search in P4, Mindful Wasp in P5, Energy Dan in P6, Doran in P7, Bossy Gaming in P8, The Bear in P9, and Aceman in P10. Further, we've got Mr. Wiggles, Ellie, the V-Car, Yes, Keith, Mark, Maggie in P17, who hasn't been able to put a lap in due to a qualifying ban. I assume he's got a qualifying ban, but I'm not 100% sure. So don't take my word on that. But that is going to be your qualifying here in Qatar. I'm just going to take a quick sip of water. And have we experienced any issues since I have disabled my TV there? I feel like we haven't, for some reason. I feel like we haven't, guys. Hopefully it's gonna stay like that. But of course, I'm gonna be jinxing myself again. So I don't know if I can do a little promotion for myself here while we are waiting. I am gonna do it anyway. I'm just taking the risk here. If you haven't found the ideal F1 channel yet, been all good. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Martin. If you haven't found the perfect F1 content channel yet, make sure to check out Pits and Peaks. Tomorrow night, we're going to be posting our first video, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later. So we've got 5 red lights here in Losail International Circuit, as it seems like a pretty decent start there from Nolders in P1, Adams in P2, as it seems like Calvin Racing already makes that move around the outside of Adams there. Takes P2 right now as Mindful Wasp tries to benefit from that move from Calvin Racing, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to get into the top 3. And Surge currently in P5. We've got Energy Dan in P6. There's a little bit of battling going on there between Ellie and Bossy Gaming. Ellie in P7. It's a pretty surprising result there from the Alfa Romeo driver, as it seems like Bossy Gaming is going a little bit too deep there. Ellie right on the toe of the Mercedes driver, tries to make a dive bomb into turn 6, that is. But unfortunately, he or she is not going to be able to make that move. Bossy Gaming now on the tail of Ellie. And we're already in lap 1 out of 29, of course, as there is a yellow flag. That is going to be Doran all the way in P17. Right now, the Haas driver cuts the whole corner there in turn 9, going into turn 10 right now, as he wants to stick to that toe of the Alfa Romeo driver. The further he's going to get in that toe, the sooner he's going to be able to make that move. As you can see, Ellie now sticking to the toe of the Mercedes driver. But one thing here in Qatar is that if you stick to the toe pretty close, you're going to be having understeer and you're going way too wide. Mr. Wiggles and Aceman right now in P9 and P10. As we want to have a quick look with the position changes, Doran has lost 10 after a pretty unfortunate lap 1 there, and we've got Ellie gaining 5, although she's gonna lose, or he is gonna lose 1 position right now to Bossy Gaming, who recaptures his P7. He's going down the inside there. They're still going side by side. He's pushing the Alfa Romeo driver a little bit wide there, although he's having the inside line right now. Bossy Gaming gets pushed into the gravel, and that is going to be still Bossy Gaming in P7, although he's getting chased from behind. Now it goes down the inside of Ellie. I think Ellie just gave that position back, and now he's got those Ferrari drivers right behind him. 2 thirsty Ferrari drivers in P9 and P10. Hopefully going to be able to make that move onto Ellie in P8. Let's have a quick look here with Matt G. What's happening here? Keat in P15. Not too sure what happened there, but he's got some sand on his tires, and that's definitely not great for the tire usage there. Bossy Gaming, who already gets a 3-second time penalty, and that is something we're going to be seeing a lot here in Qatar. We're going to be seeing a lot of track penalties, track penalties, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, definitely have a quick look at that, because the guy who is not going to have a penalty here around Qatar is going to finish top 5. Either it doesn't matter what position you are. If you're in P17, if you're in P14, if you're in P10, you're always going to score a good P5 or better. Calvin Racing now with the fastest lap, as we might want to have a quick look with the tires. Noldus currently in P1 on the hards, and we've got Bossy Gaming in P7 also on the hards, and then we've got the V-Car and Doran in P14 and 17 both on the hards, as Calvin Racing is trying to get past Noldus as soon as possible. But it seems like those hards, like we saw in Japan, are holding up strong and are keeping these medium tires behind them. Although Noldus struggling through these fast right-handers right now, Calvin needed to go onto the brakes a little bit earlier than he expected to. He almost went into the back of Noldus there, but it doesn't seem like he's experiencing any troubles sticking to the toe of the Norwegian driver right now. Hopefully he's going to have a good exit coming through this corner, and he's not going to be able to make a move into turn 10 though, but he patiently needs to wait as he's going to have the DRS. There's only one DRS straight here in Qatar, and that is going to be in the last sector with the start-finish straight. So hopefully he is going to be able to make that move with the DRS down the start-finish straight into turn 1, and that is what we are expecting here. Maybe Adams can benefit from that too. I think that was a little track limit there from Calvin Racing. Now go into the last corner with a good exit there from Calvin Racing. Although Noldus has a pretty decent exit himself, but he doesn't have the speed down the main straight. Calvin Racing now with the move, with the use of DRS. What is Adams going to do? He's not close enough to make that move, and that will be a new P1 for now, a new leader of the race, and that will be Calvin Racing. Adams is going to have his hands full keeping the toe of Noldus right now, because Noldus is going to be able to stick to the toe of Calvin Racing and hopefully get some more speed throughout this track. And Mindful was right now in P4 trying to keep up with the guys ahead, but it doesn't seem like a top 3 is going to be for him. Although if he's going to get any, well, if he's not going to get any penalties, that might be changing here. There's a little bit of a gap forming from P5 to P6, so we can definitely say that the top 5 have been battling the whole season already, with a couple of unexpected names, I would say. But you know, Energy Dan, like, props to him. He's a great driver, but he's a little bit of the best of the rest, I would say that. Like, he's the best of the rest. You know, you've got your Alfa Romeos, well, Calvin Racing, you've got your Mercedeses, well, Energy Dan is a Mercedes, you've got your Alpines, you've got the Williams. You know, it's always Calvin, Noldus, Adams, Mindful Wasp, and a couple of other guys who are battling with each other. And then we've got Energy Dan trying to keep up with the toe, but he's not always going to be able to, and it's like, you know, it's struggling for him around these guys. So Noldus right now makes the move again into turn 1, and what is Mindful Wasp going to do? I think Adams still has the DRS, doesn't he? It seems like Surge is making it difficult. Mindful Wasp, who is taking a look around the outside there, as it is going to be a good overtake opportunity into Sector 2 if he can keep the toe off the Alpine driver. Now sticking to the toe. Yeah, apologies for this Wi-Fi, guys. Yeah, sure, you should be able to hear me, but I don't think you can see the screen, can you? Let's have a quick look with the bear here, as he's currently in P9, sticking to the toe of Aceman. And it seems like the guys up ahead are having a heated battle right now. Calvin Racing, who is trying to keep the toe of Noldus. We're currently in lap 5 out of the 29. And Mindful Wasp in P4 right now, sticking to the toe of Adams. And Adams, who's already got a penalty, so that's something we need to look at the end of the race there. And we've got a yellow flag in Sector 3. That is going to be your Red Bull. Yes, who's currently in P15, comes into the pits. Might have a broken front wing. And now the guys are all going to have the DRS. Oh no, we were already past the start-finish straight there. 210s for Mindful Wasp. And you know what with Mindful Wasp? You know, he's a pretty fast driver. He's consistent. He just makes mistakes. And I feel like, you know, making mistakes is all good and well. But I feel like these mistakes he makes are just too big. It has too much effect on his racing. And I feel like that is definitely something that needs to be looked at. Because last week, he was leading that race with 1 second or something like that. Maybe 2, I don't know. He was coming around that last corner, and he just blew it. He just blew it. I thought he was, like, both me and Oliver were thought he was under fueling or anything like that, and just wasn't able to finish the race with enough fuel. But it seems like after the race, I was looking at the chat, and I understood that he just blew it. And then I'm thinking, like, you know, you're winning this race, you're battling so heavy, you're battling that well, and you're able to battle clean with all these other guys and just mess it up into the last corner. That's just a rookie mistake there from the Englishman. So right now he wants to get another P3 or a P2 or a P1, but I feel like this is just, you know, starting to hammer you, you know, like coming into a Grand Prix, you're putting a good lap in. Ooh, the guys in P9 and P10 seem to be having a Heated battle here. The Aston Martin gets the overtake. Well, it gets overtaken by the V car currently in P10. As he is on those hard tires, so the V car might be able to get a little bit closer. I believe Mindful should actually be leading the championship. Had a few incidents this season. Yeah, that's what I mean. You know, Mindful, he is pretty good. He is consistent, but just blows it every now and then. So I feel like that's definitely something that should be looked at, as the V car is going way too deep into that corner there. And he's now getting chased from behind. Maggi, who came from P17, currently in P12. Not bad at all for the Red Bull driver, as he's looking to make a move onto the AlphaTauri driver. Just looking to make a move into the inside, but it's definitely not going to be working through these fast right-handers right now, as that is hopefully going to be a good overtaking opportunity down the main straight. But the V-Guard is going to have the DRS, of course. But as I said, you know, Mindful Wasp, he has been there, but he has also not been there, you know. He just blows it every now and then, and yeah, nothing like Surge. You barely see Surge make any mistakes, except for having an incident with Energy Dan every now and then, as Aceman now takes a B7, overtook Ellie down the main straight, as so did the V-Car on the Bear there. And Bossy Gaming gets another 3-second time penalty, so we might want to pop up those penalties already. Bossy Gaming has got 9 already. And that is very costly here, because that's going to drop him all the way to P14. And maybe even P15 if he's going to get another couple of penalties. I mean, if he would get 15 seconds of penalties, he would drop back all the way to P15. So that is something you need to look at here in Qatar. You don't want to push that much. You don't want to push that much that you're going to get penalties over and over again, like Bossy Gaming is having right now. But you just want to keep it on the limit, if that makes sense. Like, you don't want to risk anything, you want to keep it on the limit. And it seems like the top 3 has taken a small, tiny lead on Mindful Wasp right now, who's not within the DRS, but he got back in. And it is going to be very risky and very close for Mindful Wasp to see if he's going to get the DRS. I think he just crossed the DRS detection point there, and he's definitely going to have the DRS. So let's have a quick look if he's going to be able to get closer to the guys up ahead, as Nold is currently in P2. Is he going to be able to make that move? Calvin Racing goes back onto the racing line, as that was quite close, but not in the braking zone. So it shouldn't be too bad there for the Williams and both the Alfa Romeo driver. There goes Adams into the back of Noldus, but he doesn't need to push that much, as he has the 3-second time penalty already. Mindful Wasp, just because of this battling, he's going to be able to get a little bit closer there. Maggi is currently right on the tail of Keith, as the Red Bull driver is, you know, he's pushing. I feel like he made a little bit of a mistake there. He was in P12, wasn't he? He started in P17, had a little bit of a dodgy start. Also Doran did, though. Almost goes into the back of Keith there. Having a good exit coming through that corner, and he's going to be right next to the Williams driver, but he's going to back off. He's going to back off, especially through that corner. You don't want to be too close, because you're going to collide. It's just a thing around Qatar. You don't want to be too close, and I think there's only 2 or 3 corners where you're going to be able to make a move into turn 10, which is this one, into turn 6, which is that other slow left-hander, and then down the main straight, I would say, with the use of DRS now. Maggi definitely has the pace, and he's going to be able to make that move pretty soon, as he's now going way too wide. There might have been a track warning, as Ellie now catches a 3-second time penalty. So did the Bear, if I'm not mistaken. And Ellie with 6 seconds already. So does Bossy Gaming, who's actually has 9. And then Energy Dan with the 3-second time penalty. He's getting pushed from behind by Aceman. And if I'm not mistaken, Aceman is Italian, so he's got some good pace. You know, just I was talking about this on my YouTube channel, the other one, the Pizza Peaks one. So there's a couple of Italians who are actually pretty good drivers. You know, you've got Giancarlo Fisichella, you've got Riccardo Patrese, you have got Ascari, a couple of good ones actually. You've got Daniel Ricciardo is actually also Italian. So I would say the Italians have got some pretty fast blood in their hands. Well, in their body. Because you're also racing with your feet, aren't you? Well, actually, if you're racing on controller, you're only racing with 2 or a couple of fingers. So, yeah. Uh, back to racing here. Surge right now on the tail of Mindful Wasp position. Oh, there's a big lead from P5 to P6 actually, 6.6 seconds. And that's what I said. You know, Energy Dan is best of the rest. He's not able to keep the pace of the top 5, but he's also a little bit too fast for the rest of the grid to be able to get overtaken. You know, the V-car 3-second time penalty as we're now heading into turn 1. Noldus is taking a look down the inside, but he's gonna back off there. Bossy Gaming with the use of DRS. Seems like he's going to be able to make that move. Ellie comes into the pits right now. Retires from the session. That is going to be the Alfa Romeo driver over and out. As he or she is not going to be able to finish this race. Unfortunately, they had a pretty decent result there. I would say so. Adams now sticking to the toe of Noldus. He's now going to be able to make a dive bomb there into turn 6 as Mindful Wasp is really pushing here. Goes a little bit too deep there. Is that going to be a penalty? Doesn't look like it gets with a 3-second time penalty. And Ellie's car is coming back on track. That is dangerous. That is dangerous, but I don't think it will cause any safety cars here. Noldus right now sticking to the toe of Calvin. And I do have to give it to Calvin. He's always there. He's always present. I think, you know, he started racing when I did my first commentary video in SFR. I think that was in round 12, so I've already done 6 races here. This is my 7th, if I'm not mistaken. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, this is my 7th race. Well, actually 6th race because I didn't do Singapore. But I do have to give all props to him. You know, he's been there since I've been there. And right now he's already in the top 10, isn't he? He's a P11, so he's going to be able to get into the top 10 pretty soon. But if he keeps on getting these results, I do know that he's going to be able to, you know, get into the top 5 or into the top 3 next season. It's gonna be too difficult right now as we're only having 5 or 6 more races after this one. So yeah, it's gonna be difficult for him, but I do think he's gonna be able to get into the top 10, maybe even the top 8 if he keeps on finishing like this. You know, the guys are getting 25 points for winning the race, but everyone actually gets points if they finish the race. So that's something I really like about SFR. They're able to give everyone points who finish the race and take the time to finish the race. Otherwise, usually, you know, the actual F1 drivers, they don't really need to stay. Well, they do really need to stay in the race just because of the sponsors on their car. But, oh, another 3-second time penalty for Adams there. As we're currently on board with Aceman and Energy Dan. And it seems like Aceman has made that overtake. But we want to have a quick look with the top 3 here as Adams is now trying to get closer to Noldus, but it seems like Calvin and Noldus are putting the pressure on here. Mindful Wasp having a heated battle with Adams there. He's definitely going to be able to make that move as Adams doesn't have the DRS there. Oh, that was nasty. That was nasty, but I do have to say that was definitely Mindful Wasp's mistake there. And I'm not too sure why he's using ERS, as it seems like Adams doesn't have any ERS left, and he also didn't have the DRS, so not too sure. But as I said, you know, what was I saying again? I totally forgot. Serge makes the move on his teammate. Matt G also make the move on Keith. That's probably down the main straight, isn't it? Did I say Serge? I meant Matt G. Let's have a quick look. When are the guys actually coming into the pits? Medium hards? I would say around lap 14. I think that would be good enough. Lap 14? Yeah, lap 14 should do it. Lap 14 should do it. Let's have a quick look with the position changes. 4 positions gained for the V-car, 5 positions gained for Mad G. As we've got Calvin Racing and Mindful Wasp both gaining 2 positions, currently in P1 and P3. So not a bad result there for both of them. Adams started in P2, currently in P5. And he's going to drop 1 more, I think, if he's going to get another penalty. Let's have a quick look how many penalties he has. He's actually not, he doesn't have to get another penalty. He's going to lose that position anyway. Noldus right now on the tail of Calvin Racing. And what is the ERS looking like? It seems like Calvin Racing is using a little bit here down the main straight. But Noldus is on those hard tires. So This is actually very beneficial for the Norwegian driver right now. Sticking to the toe of Calvin Racing, trying to push the limits out of these tires. But he doesn't have to push that much because Calvin Racing seems to be struggling already. I think the top guy will be trying medium soft. You think so? You think Calvin will be going medium soft? That would be very crazy. I don't think he's going. Oh, the top guys probably will be trying medium soft. Medium soft is just not the way to go here around Qatar. Your tires are so dumb. You know, and also tire overheating. Like, going onto the softs, it's definitely not a good thing to do. But it could be. Actually, it could be. But mainly, if you go onto soft tires, you need to watch out for the tire overheating, which is always going to be a problem on the soft tires. I've never been a fan of the soft tires. You will rarely see me go onto soft tires, only for tracks like Belgium or something like that, where tire heating is not really that bad. So it seems coming around that last corner there, Calvin Racing actually has so much space coming around that last corner and actually getting that exit perfectly. And Noldus is not able to get past him down the main straight. I really wonder how many ERS he has left. Look at the ERS from Calvin Racing. He had more than 70% there. And with these battles, I think Mindful Wasp, Surge, and Adams are actually getting closer and closer to these guys. So definitely something to look at, as it seems like Mad G and the Bear are currently having a heated battle, although Mad G is coming into the pits. So he will probably be going on to medium tires, won't he? Hard tires for the for the Red Bull driver there. As Noldus and Calvin Racing are still having a heated battle. A little bit of a snap there from Calvin Racing. But I think it was all part of the plan, as you know, around... I think around Qatar you would have a lot of wings, don't you? I know that during my event there were a couple of guys who were running 50-50 wings. It's just to get through those fast right-handers as fast as possible. There we go, Dynamite straight. It seems like Noldus has taken that last corner a little bit better, but I feel like Calvin Racing is just running a very low wing setup there. He's just so fast down the main straight. Noldus, who's got the DRS, isn't faster than Calvin Racing in P1, who doesn't have the DRS. And, you know, it's that Alfa Romeo car. It's that Alfa Romeo car. It is what it is. The Alfa Romeo car is bringing him wings. Haha. It's the snake on the logo. Actually, isn't it a dragon or like an eagle or something like that? It's a snake, but it looks like an eagle. Yeah. It's a beautiful logo, don't you guys think? Don't you guys think? It's like a cross and then a snake, which looks like something else. Oh, there goes the V-car. Does he have issues? He's letting the Bear go through. Maybe a miscommunication. Or maybe like a incident and the V-car just giving the position back. I'm not 100% sure. Let's go back to Surge, as he's on the tail of a Mindful Wasp right now. And he's possibly going to be able to make that overtake with the use of DRS. He's got the 3-second time penalty though. I'm talking about Mindful Wasp. Now look at the distance from Noldus to Calvin Racing, right? 2/10 coming into sector turn 16. And then coming down the main straight, Noldus has got the DRS, but he's not able to get closer. How does that work? How does that work? Look at that. Noldus, who's not able to get past Calvin Racing. And I really wonder what setup that Calvin is using there. What wings? Because this is just magic. Noldus, who is a little bit faster through the corners here in Sector 1 and Sector 2 and Sector 3. But just down that main straight, Calvin Racing is able to keep Noldus behind him. And that's what I'm saying, like, all the time. If you've got a track where there's not many overtaking opportunities, but one good overtaking opportunity down the main straight, just go for a low wing setup. Because the guys are not going to be able to make a move through the corner because that's just too risky. But they're not going to be able to make the overtake down the main straight either. So that's just the way I would go if I were a racing driver, of course, which I'm not. So don't take my advice for granted. But it is good advice, I can tell you that. Maggi is pretty close to Keith right now. He's not going to be able to make the overtake. But they're now entering Sector 2 with hopefully good expectations for the remaining 12 laps here. And hopefully they're going to be able to keep it close. Noldus makes the move as Calvin Racing comes into the pits. That is indeed going to be soft tires for the Alfa Romeo driver. And I really wonder what Noldus is doing actually, because he's gone onto the hards. So he's probably going onto the softs at the end of the race. But something to think about too is how are these guys going... Well, how are these guys sorting out their fuel? Are they underfueling? Are they overfueling? Are they putting the right amount into their car? In my opinion, from experience, from all the races I've commentated already on Qatar, I would say overfuel by about 3 laps. Because there was once a Grand Prix, and a guy, he was leading the race by about 10 seconds. He overfueled by 3 laps, and he still lost that race. He came in P7. Oh, look at that! The bear making a move on Energy Dan. And did he make a pit stop already? He did indeed make a pit stop already. 3-lap-old hard. So Energy Dan definitely will have the benefit here. So will Aceman and Calvin Racing. Calvin Racing 21 seconds behind Adam. So if Noldus comes into the pits right now, will it be enough for him to keep that lead? I don't think so. Oh, Serge. Oh, guys, I'm tired. So, have a quick look at the V-car there. The V-car on the toe of Energy Dan. Will he be able to make that move? I don't think so, but he is on those medium tires. So they're going to be lasting a little bit longer than the soft tires. So they definitely will be faster at the end of the race, but not for now. Like, not now. I don't think they're going to be faster now. He's able to keep the toe, though. So all props to him. But where is Calvin Racing going to come out? Let's have a quick look. It's definitely going to be ahead of a Mindful Wasp. But it's also going to be ahead of Noldus. It's going to be ahead by quite a bit, I think. A couple of seconds, I think. Look at that. Noldus, who has gotten that strategy completely wrong. Calvin Racing made the undercut work. He's got a 3-second lead on Noldus right now. Adams, who is in P1 with a 17.7 second gap to Calvin Racing. Where's Need for Speed? He's not here. Neither is the other McLaren, so I think they're just giving up here. Unfortunately. Fastest first sector for Calvin Racing here. He's currently in P2. He's gonna get a P1 pretty soon. But Noldus, going from the hards to the softs, was that the right decision? He might have looked at my stream. I was like, oh yeah, the guys are not gonna be able to make a soft medium work. I will go hard mediums. And then he saw, oh, the other guys are going softs. I will go softs too after this hard stint. I don't know. I'm so depressed now, honestly. Ah, Logan. Calm down. Calm your titties. Calm the titties. I love Harry. Search right now on the tail of Mindful Wasp. Aceman with a 3-second time penalty. Not too sure what happened there. Let's have a quick look with Search here on the tail of Mindful Wasp. And he's going to have the DRS. He's going to have the DRS. And a little bit of a track limit there. Calvin Racing with the fastest lap. Noldus comes back into the pits. Oh no, that's Adam. Oh my days. That's Adams. And there we go. Search making a move on Mindful Wasp. And where is Adams going to come out? Is that going to be ahead of Aceman? Yes, indeed it is. But he did lose a bit of time there to the other guys. So the grid has been spread out a little bit there. Energy Dan in P7 right now is not able to keep the toe off Aceman. And he's getting chased from behind. But Energy Dan on those soft tires. He's going to be the last driver on the soft tires. And all the other guys have gone on to different strategies. The V-car getting chased from behind by Bossy Gaming, who is about a 1/10 behind right now. He makes the move down the inside. What a beautiful dive bomb there from Bossy Gaming. It was a little bit risky, but he makes the move. I feel like the V-car is that kind of guy that you know is always going to leave room just because he doesn't want to crash out or anything like that, you know. Search 3-second time penalty once again. So the top two, and then of course Adoran, are the only ones who don't have a penalty yet. So it's not going to be a battle for the top two and a battle for P3. Mindful Wasp getting around the outside of Surge there. As Mindful Wasp is giving that position back. Not too sure what was happening there. I feel like, you know, these guys are, you know, they're so great. They're giving those positions back after a misunderstanding and all that kind of stuff. Noldus, who's now having the fastest lap of 124. And there goes Mindful Wasps. Making that move again on Surge. There's about an 8-10 gap to Surge right now. I feel like Surge is going off throttle there. Is he slowing down for his teammate? He's not able to keep the toe of Mindful Wasp, but Mindful Wasp is not going to be able to get closer to Noldus and Calvin Racing here. Let's go to the back here as P9, P10, P11, and P8 are having a heated battle. And you guys remember that safety car, well, not the safety car, the yellow flag. Oh, wait, hold up. Oh, I almost dropped my controller. That yellow flag in turn 1 there, well, lap 1. That was actually Doran, and he's currently in P11, so not a bad result at all. Let's have a quick look here with the V car. He's looking to make a move around the outside. Fast right-handers right now. So it's definitely not suggested to make a move through there. Bossy Gaming with a 3-second time penalty. That is going to be very fatal. Although he did have a couple already. Let's have a quick look at the penalties here. Bossy Gaming. He's got double the amount of the second highest amount, which is going to be 9. Look at that. 18 seconds. The V-car now on the tail of the bear. Is he going down the inside? I would say so. Yes, indeed he is. As that will be overtake done for the AlphaTauri driver. The bear trying to make a switchback work. Although he gets a 3-second time penalty. How did he get that? How did he get that? I don't think he crossed any track limits, did he? 12 seconds right now. That is really interesting. I didn't see... Like, he was in the middle of the track. How did that happen? Oh, I need to go pee so bad, guys. Oh, my days. I should have done that before I was starting the stream. Can you guys still hear me? Oh, yeah, you can. Were you guys able to hear me? I feel like you guys weren't. Is there actually still someone in the stream? Please let me know. Otherwise, I'm just talking to myself right now, which is quite sad. I'm a lonely mouse anyway. You guys know that meme where there's like a Smartie box and then there's like a mouse which is eating a Smartie, but like all by himself, and then there's like very sad music in the background? That's me every evening, eating by myself. Oh, I hate it. I hate it. Well, sometimes. Oh, Logan, did you hear me talk the whole time or not really, Logan? Thank you for sticking in the stream, by the way. Really appreciate it. Oh, Adams is able to catch up to Surge, and it seems like Surge has lost the DRS, although he's back in. You were not able to hear me? No, Logan, you're joking, buddy. You were not able to hear me? Yeah, you were. I'm gonna listen to the stream. Oh, fuck, I cannot listen to the stream myself. You were not? Yeah, you were. You were able to hear me. That's why I haven't typed. Eating, bro. Martin. Are you also eating by yourself right now? Martin, were you? I can't hear you as you speak. I don't know whether you were earlier. I see Bossy has made up his own racetrack. Yes, indeed. Bossy currently in P8. 18 seconds of penalty, so he's going to drop back all the way to P12. Unfortunately, but... Yeah, if it comes, it's fine. Okay, thank you, thank you. No, Thomas, I was saying no to the meme. Oh. Why no to the meme? The meme is funny. Well, it's not really funny. It's actually pretty sad, but every time I'm eating by myself, right? Oh, wait, maybe we should focus on the move here. A Surge is right on the toe of Mindful Wasp. And this is the battle for P3. Oh, there goes Adams. Oh my days, he has got a lot of pace. He takes P3 right now, but oh, he's making it difficult for Mindful Wasp right now. And he needs to get past the Mercedes driver as soon as possible. Oh, Adams. Oh, takes out Mindful Wasp. There goes both of them. Oh, this is so frustrating. Oh, man. Yeah, no. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I'm not gonna... Like, this would be very funny if this was true. But, you know, Surge was... Well, this is hypothetically, right? So, right now, Surge and Adams are in a call. They were going down the main straight. And then Surge just said, I don't understand it, Thomas. I've never seen it. It's not a story time with Logan anymore. It's story time with Thomas. Aww. So... Here is the thing. Surge and Adams were in a call with each other, and like Surge was like, code B, strategy 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then Adams was just like, ew, down the main straight. He went into like around the outside of Mindful Wasp. He just lounged it into turn. What turn is that? Turn 6? I don't know if it actually is turn 6. Turn 2, that is. Was it turn 2? I think it was turn 2. So, oh, there goes Adams. Oh, he crashes out. Is that going to be a safety car? Can I go to the toilet? No, it's going to be a virtual. Ah, oh, man. Spin out, spin out. No, we don't wish anyone would spin out, guys. But this is a... No, I was going to say this is the right time to come into the pits and get a soft tire. But... I don't think it would be beneficial if you come into the pits to go onto soft tires right now, because you've got a virtual safety car and he's got a broken front wing. I'm talking about Adams here. So his kamikaze launch has worked, but it has given him a broken front wing. Mindful Wasp is currently in P5 with a 6-second time penalty. Thomas's pain. I don't know what you're talking about, Logan. Thomas's pain? Oh, my pee pain. Well, that sounds very, very weird. I need to go to the toilet really, really bad. Like, really, really bad. Maybe I should just go. Oh, Noldus is within 1 second of Calvin Racing. This is going to be some very, very interesting last couple of laps. Lap 25 out of 29. We're entering lap 26 out of 29. So still 3 or 4 more laps to go. And a drive-through penalty for Keed. No way. Adams gets into P8. And a drive-through penalty for Doran too. Did he already had that one? Did he already had that one? I don't know. Noldus right now with the DRS wide open. Actually, you know what the thing is? The guys can use DRS when there is a virtual safety car. But if there is a real safety car, the guys all have to wait until the 3rd lap after the safety car. Which is actually a funny fact. Oh, this is not what we want. There goes Noldus right on the tail of Calvin Racing right now. He's not going to be able to make that move. But we've got the AlphaTauri driver trying to make it difficult for Noldus right now. I think that is Mark QWERTY, but he's not able to keep the toe anyway. I mean, no hate to you, Mark, but yeah. You're a lovely guy. I love you. Bye-bye. Noldus right now on the tail of Calvin Racing. He's just not getting their match. He's making a move on Keith though. Well, Keith is coming into the pits, so is Adams. And Doran should come into the pits too, but he is just not going to. He is just not going to. And you know, a race with penalties is always more boring than a race without penalties, because like the moves matter. Right now, no moves matter. Look at P9 and P10. There is a difference of 1/10. But one guy has got 3 seconds, and the other guy has got 12 seconds. So, you know, it's not interesting anymore. But is Noldus going to struggle down the main straights again? I feel like he is. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that straight line speed from Calvin Racing. Uh-oh, Noldus. He's keeping the toe. He's keeping the toe. He's going to go down the inside. He's going to back out. No, he's going to make a launch. There we go. Noldus trying to keep the toe. No, not the toe, the position. And he takes the lead of the race right now. And Calvin Racing is going to be struggling. I'll tell you that. He is going to be struggling keeping the toe of Noldus here. But it is that 1 lap fresher softs. It's just that. It's just the 1 lap fresher softs. They're fresher right now. They're going to be fresher for another couple of laps. And he's going to be able to... Oh, Bossy Gaming. Bossy Gaming. What a man. What a man, eh? currently in P7. He's gonna drop back to P10 because of the penalties. What a painful night, eh? So Calvin Racing, how strong is he gonna be in these last couple of reps? Is it gonna be another race win for the Alfa Romeo, or will Noldus be running away with the race win here? Adams coming into the pits. No, he's not coming into the pits. No, he isn't coming into... He is coming into the pits. Wait. There's an Alpine coming into the pits. That is going to be Noldus. No, not Noldus. Oh, man. These names and these colors of these cars. Oh, my days. Okay, Calvin Racing within 5/10, right? He's got the straight line speed. He's got the DRS. He's got the ERS. He's not having a lot of ERS left. Oh, look at that speed difference. Look at that speed difference. Making a move down the inside into lap 28. They go, and that is going to be Noldus. Oh, and you know what the thing is too? You know what the thing is too, right? Coming around turn 16, which is going to be the last corner of the race, right? Coming around turn 16, you've got a very long straight before the finish is there. So are we going to see some very close battling, down the line? That is going to be a good question here. Now let's have a quick look with the back of the race here, as Bossy Gaming is having a heated battle with Energy Dan. Energy Dan just has to let him go through. Doesn't want to make any risks here. Noldus is now having troubles keeping the toe of Calvin Racing. I feel like Calvin Racing really is pushing. He really is pushing. Look at that. Noldus right now down this little straight into the fast right-handers. He's going to gain some time through the fast right-handers though, due to his higher wings, as you can see. Gaining a little bit of time there into the 4/10. Yeah, look at that. Coming around turn 15. That pace difference between Noldus and Calvin Racing. Oh, he's going a little bit too wide. That is a bad exit from Noldus. He's not going to be able to make that move, is he? Mindful Wasp with another 3-second time penalty. He's going to drop back to P6. Noldus now around the outside. And what is this going to be? Calvin Racing not giving up. He's having the inside line, but Noldus taking the edge. There goes Calvin Racing. Oh, he's out of the race. Oh, no, he isn't yet. But he has got a broken front wing, and that was definitely his mistake. He went a little bit too deep coming through that corner, and that was just... he's got a broken front wing. He doesn't need to bother too much. I don't think that Search will run away 3 seconds. Although he might be, though. He might be. So is that going to be Aceman in the top 3? What a surprising result, hey. I know him from PGR, where we used to race. Where I used to commentate on. But I don't think I commentated on his races. I'm not 100% sure. But Aceman also making a move on Calvin here. Calvin just goes to the side. He knows he's given this race win away, basically. We've got some heated battles going on here in P7 and P6, but Boss Gaming is dropping all the way to P10 anyway, so doesn't really matter too much, does it? No, actually, he's not dropping back to P10. He's dropping back to P9. Energy Dan is getting into the top 5. And not a bad result from him. Calvin Racing will take P4. Although he's still struggling to get around. Yeah, it will be a P4, wouldn't it? Let's have a quick look. Boss Gaming is making a move. Yeah, Calvin really fucked that up, Logan. Energy Dan in P4. Mindful Wasp. Mindful Wasp is back into P6. Boss Gaming drops back. Calvin Racing in P4. Okay, so your race winner is going to be Noldus. That is safe to say already. Search in P2 and Aceman in P3. Pretty decent result here from the Italian. I'm just going to have a quick look at the position changes. 7 positions gained. Yeah, he's my driver of the day. I'm going to be totally honest with you there. Yeah, driver of the day, Aceman. I'm going to put that in the comments box later. Calvin Racing dropped, well, actually 3 positions. It says 1, but it actually dropped 3. Yeah, Calvin, not too sure what you did there, buddy. Yeah, it wasn't his mistake, right? It was your mistake, right? Energy Dan in P5 at the V car. Yeah, really unlucky. Like, you know, it's just that unfortunate incident. It gives me Mindful Wasp vibes like he did last week. You know, just blew it. I mean, at least you've got a P4. Some guys would, you know, that spin you had into that wall. that was so lucky that you didn't crash out. Like, you could have just DNF too. Like, that is the thing. So driver of the day, it says Aceman. I agree with that. It's an Italian in the Italian car, so congratulations to him. We're just gonna go over the results here real quick. Just gonna have a quick look with the stream. Okay, 3%. I'm happy with 3%. I'm happy with 3%. I'm happy with 3%. Okay, so Noldus in P1, the Search in P2, and Aceman in P3. Further, we've got Calvin, Energy Dan, the V-Car, Mindful Wasp, the Bear, Bossy Gaming, Doran, Magi, Keith, Yes, Adams, Wiggles, Mark, and then Ellie at the back of the line. He or she didn't finish the race, the rest did. Adams is actually the biggest loser of the evening. He does have the fastest lap though, 123.9, so congratulations to you. And that is gonna be your Grand Prix over here in Qatar in the Speed Force Racing League. Guys, I want to thank you very, very much for watching this video. I hope you guys liked it. My name is Phoebe Thomas. My hair is a little bit fucked, so don't look at that. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys liked it. You know, it's some... Oh, wait. Wait. Hold up. Hold up. Otherwise, the guys are not able to... Because of the camera. There we go. So this is the camera. There we go. Okay. Yeah. It's all good. So, guys, I'm going to call it the day. Thank you very much for watching. This was Phoebe Thomas as your commentator. And we will see you not next week. Because I will be in a hotel with my work. Fancy. No. I need to do some kind of workshop with my work. So, that's going to be that. But, guys, thank you very much for watching. I will see you guys next week. A little promotion here. So me, Logan, Oliver, and a couple of other guys from other leagues have started a YouTube channel. It's called Pits and Peaks. So just search Pits and Peaks on YouTube. And it will be about F1 content. So we will be playing trivia games. We will be making a podcast. So make sure to watch the podcast too. So we will also be live on Spotify. So make sure to check that out too. And we will also be covering the F1 races live. Of course, not with the F1 race on screen, but we will be giving you inside details, radio messages, and all that kind of stuff for free. So make sure to follow the channel if you haven't already. And make sure to follow this one too. This one is amazing. Make sure to follow it. 632 followers right now. We're trying to make the push till 700 before the end of the year. So make sure to follow us and subscribe. And give us a like if you like the video, so make sure to do that. And then I will be catching you in 2 weeks. This was Phoebe Thomas as your commentator. Peace out.